Hello and welcome to Trout Talk here on Saga 960 AM, or if you're watching on YouTube, first time in a while that we've been back. Myself, Mike Karafilidis here, talking all things Steelheads as we put a wrap on the past season, and we start to look ahead to the next year because obviously there's lots coming up. We got the draft coming up soon. Of course, we're in the OHL playoffs right now, and we'll see a Steelheads team kind of get assembled here pretty soon in the offseason, and then before you know it, we'll be ready to go again. But before we get into all of that, it's been a little while. Our last Trout Talk was live. It was at the arena. We talked to Carter Hicks. We had a bunch of different guys, we had Zach. We had, us two on there talking about the Steelheads last game just before that happened. So this is the next time that we've been able to kind of converse about this. So it's been a little while, Mike. Yeah, I did see you yesterday at the time of recording this, but
yes, we did.
How have you been doing? It's been a little bit since we've hopped on here.
Yeah, no, I've been doing well. Easter just wrapped up this past weekend. It was nice to be with the families and all that kind of stuff. And no, it was great. Everything's been really, really good. Now looking forward to the kind of the off season. I guess you could say we'll have a special announcement what we're going to be doing later on. But yeah, it's the off season now. Exciting time. The draft is coming up. Steelheads are going to be picking at number 3. Number 3, folks. Number 3 in the draft. And I think I have my idea who I would want to pick. But we will have our special guest on, and I'm sure he's not going to give it away, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not going to give us any name.
Obviously. No, I know, obviously not. I'm just kidding around about that. But no, everything's been good. And looking forward to this off season, coaching my son's baseball team and whatnot. And playing my own.
You're playing.
Yeah, I'm playing softball this season. I haven't played in a long time. My goodness me. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen there. But I think I'm going to play. I don't want to be one of those guys that play catcher and stuff like that. No, I was a second baseman when I played, right? I think I could play second base again. Don't ask me to play shortstop. Don't ask me to play the outfield.
No, you're not gonna. You don't want to track down fly balls.
Well, no, not really. Tell you the truth, not really. I'm kind of like that Cecil Fielder kind of guy.
So you want to play first base,
second base, right?
Play a little bit of third, I think.
I could play third. I got the arm for third. Yeah. So my son's got a real rifle arm. He takes after me, I think. But he's an animal. I'm telling you, I can't wait.
Do you know when that's getting started?
We know what I haven't got any notification yet. Nothing. We haven't got anything yet about that. So, but we're looking forward to it. It's his first year out of the the pitching machine, because he's done now with T-ball.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So, he's looking forward to it. He's excited. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll be coaching. I gotta be nice and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Calm
around the kids. Yeah, I have to be calm. Yes.
Yeah.
Encouraging the kids.
100%. Let them have some fun.
That's what it's all about, my man.
That's right.
That's what it's all about. All about having fun, especially with the kids. Especially at that age, right? 100%. When they get older, then you start yelling at them. So, right? But you're always gonna have those parents that think that their kid's gonna be, Otani,
of course, yes.
Just saying and stuff. The ones that are going to be young, even T-ball, man, oh man, some of these parents, it's just like, well, like, man, like, take it easy, like, really, like, come on. Man.
Yeah, it's probably a little too young to, thinking about that, but I mean, I feel like it's been that way for a long time now. So, but you're right.
Definitely has.
As a coach, definitely, just encouraging and let them have some fun. No, that's great. Definitely be a good time for you. I'm kind of, just doing the same thing here in the off season. I'm waiting for my hockey season to start. Like usually we play in the winter sometimes, but our summer season is a little bit better because a lot of the guys that I play with are still in university and stuff, so they're not around in the winter. But we get everybody back in the summer. We get our team together, so I'm really looking forward to my hockey season getting started here in a couple weeks. But hoping to start golfing soon. It was really nice yesterday. It's a little bit colder today, and it's probably going to be a little bit colder here coming up in the next few days. But should be getting warmer here, at least in the next couple weeks. So
what's up with this weather today?
Yeah, it's all over the place. But anyways, all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, We will have our guest, head coach, general manager of the Brampton Steelheads, James Richmond. You're listening to Trout Talk on Saga 960 AM. And welcome back to Trout Talk here on Saga 960 AM. I'm Brendan Lang. Mike Karafilidis here with me as well, two broadcasters with the Brampton Steelheads. And now Brampton Steelheads general manager, head coach, James Richmond. Let's see. It's not letting me add him right now.
Okay. There he is. All right.
Good morning, fellas.
But we got him.
Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Just getting ready for the next season.
Yes, same here. We are definitely already pumped up for next season, so we're biting at the bit to already get back at it. I'm sure you're very busy, of course, so we appreciate your time coming on and stuff like that. And you look like you're very relaxed back there, which is a good thing. So that's a nice chair you got going on. What is that? Is a rocking chair? Or?
No, I don't have a rocking chair. No.
Oh, that's good. All right.
So, I mean, obviously, we're talking. It's a busy time for you with the draft coming up and all that. Like, just kind of take us through what the last few weeks has been after the season. Sort of, how do you kind of transition into kind of off-season mode after that?
Yeah, well, really, it starts with exit meetings with all the players and staff, and then the OHL Cup was on, so we had all of our scouts in from all over Ontario and the U.S. So throughout that week, I was meeting with everybody. I'll be watching a bunch of games and whatnot, and now it's really focused still on our draft, but also the import draft coming up and the U18 draft. And speaking with NHL teams about our guys. So it's the days are full, but it's really just trying to prepare and listen to what everybody's opinions are on the players out there.
So, Dare, how are you feeling about having the number 3 pick in the OHL draft coming up?
Oh yeah, I'm torn, right? It's exciting time for the organization. I wish that we weren't picking 3, but we are, and move forward and try to. We're going to get a hell of a player at 3, so we don't know who that player is going to be, but there's a group of players in there that we're be pretty excited about getting.
And you talk about the OHL Cup this year. Just what was the sort of level like this year? Is it always kind of the same? Are there years where it kind of goes, kind of ebbs and flows? Maybe there's better players in certain years. Like, just what was sort of the play this year in this year's tournament?
Yeah, I don't know. People always say, "Oh, last year was better. Last year was better. Last year was better." Well, there's some pretty high end players there this year, so it's a couple of real good American teams in there. Obviously, the teams in and around Ontario were stacked. There's a couple of school teams in there with the Hill and Upper Canada College. So, no, I think there's a lot of good players to be selected in June.
Jared, what is your biggest priority going into this offseason?
Two different questions there. So, what's our biggest priority? The draft is to find the best player possible at 3, and then in the second round we've got 2 picks. So, to find the best possible player, we're not going to look at any one position and say we have to have that. But no doubt, our priority for next year is to improve on our offense. We lost a lot, as everybody keeps reminding me. From last summer, we were the greatest hit team in the CHL with the amount of players that left. Some of it is great for our hockey club because they're signing deals with NHL teams maybe a year sooner than they would. And then with the new rules in place by the NCAA, it allowed players to leave our league early, and some of them chose to leave. So now our priority is to ramp up our offensive game. We are a young team. We're the youngest team in the league, and we're the lightest team in the league. Those two things go hand in hand. So I think that our young players had a great season. The 08s and 09s were all They all got great experience from it, and I think they're all going to be better next year. If you look at some of the increases in point production in years past, when guys went, let's say into their draft year, there's some substantial uptick in point production. So I want to caution all of our guys that are around the club, instead of looking outward, look inward, and look at the year that Keaton Arda had and Amato, and you can go through the whole thing. Amidovsky is going to be better. Arda is going to be better. They're all going to produce a lot more. I think that goes right through the whole lineup. I think we'll be better just because all those young guys played. There was a stretch there in the season where our power play was all 08s and 09s. And that was brought to my attention by a couple NHL guys after the game. Like they were right in the office right after. They're pretty excited about our guys. So that no other team was doing that this year, and we did it, and our guys worked their tails off, and I think they'll be better for it next year.
And we'll get back to kind of the draft and kind of that scouting process in a second, but just because you mentioned it, just kind of the guys there, Keaton Arda, just one of the names that you had said. I mean, what did you see from him in the development of the year? Obviously, you talk about the point production, but just the development that he had throughout the season, and then kind of what you're looking for going into this second season for him.
Yeah, I mean, Keats was looking at a lot of young kids that come in, and he was really, really excited to get going in September. And then he got really, really nervous in October and November. And we just said to him, "Hey, this is normal. Just take it all in." And he got better every month. Mm-hmm. He really did. He got bigger through the season. Just by being in the gym every day and being on the ice and whatnot. And as you get older, you start to fill out a little bit more. Yep. So his hockey IQ is off the charts, obviously, and. Your first year, it's difficult to compete against 19, 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds when you're 16 years old. So he's going to get bigger, stronger over the summer. He's got good speed. He's probably got the best release on the team. So it's he improved month after month and just a great, great teammate.
He definitely is. I remember when first seeing him. It's funny about you talk about Keaton Arda, right? And first seeing him, 16-year-old, he comes on, he's just like a tooth, not a toothpick. I wouldn't say a toothpick, but
no, he was a toothpick.
Okay, let's say he's a toothpick. I'm trying to be nice. He said,
yeah.
Okay, you said it. All right. Okay, so he's a toothpick. And, he filled out during the season and stuff like that, as you said, right? And I remember when he took that hit from Aitchison in that one game, and then he came, and then, I saw him upstairs. So and I look at him, I go, holy crap. I go, are you all right? I says to him, right? He goes, oh yeah. Like he's so into it, right? Like he seemed a little kind of like freaked out, but then at the same time, you could tell that he's striving to get better. And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Right. And I don't know. It's just, he's got that fire in him. You know what I mean? Like
well, Cash is Aitchison's one of the best. He's one of the best physical players in our league. Yes. He lays out some great hockey hits. He really does. That kid's a competitor. He's tough. He plays the game the right way. And he popped Keats there at home, and Keats popped up and came right to the bench. And, obviously, they took him out of the game, but for precautionary reasons. But he popped right up. This kid's a competitor. Keats is a competitor, and he's going to be a real good player in this league. He's going to be a real good player.
That's the word I was going to say. Yeah. He's a
competitor. I won't be surprised if we hear his name early in the next NHL draft. So.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
and the big skill, and I know we've talked about it before games and stuff, is the shot too. Like just the quick release. I think that's something that really stands out.
He's got an eye for the net, right? We could teach a player to shoot better and get it off your stick better, and we can tell but Keats has an eye for the net. Mm-hmm. He really does, and he's a good finisher.
So kind of going back to this year's draft and sort of building up for next year, I'm always interested in kind of the scouting process. Like when you're looking at a player, kind of what are the main things that you're looking for? And it doesn't just have to be on the ice, right? Like, I mean, there's obviously a whole package of a player that's coming into your organization. So kind of what are I don't want to say like top things on your list that you're kind of checking off when you're drafting or scouting players, but what are sort of those main sort of components that you want to see from them that you're going to be bringing into the organization?
Yeah, great question. It's funny you asked. I mean, but what we're looking for is had a long talk with one of the NHL teams yesterday, and it's the compete level in the player now, and we need to find guys that are going to care every shift about their compete level, about winning puck battles, about possession time, about where they're putting the pucks on the ice so that their teammates can get it, and so really compete level, pace, awareness. And a big thing that we've seen over the last few years is availability.
Mm-hmm.
The last game of the season, everybody's making a big deal about Brantford sitting 6 of their top players. If you looked up into our press box, we had 8 players that could have been in the lineup that were sitting there.
That's right.
So there was a big knock about, well, we have too many D on the roster. Obviously, with Drags getting suspended as long as he did. But we had 8. And plus Drags is 9, but we had 8 defensemen. And that last game, we had to call up defensemen to play. So availability is really coming into the forefront of the game now. And it's how do you get ready for a season? How do you prepare for it? Because it's going to be a long, hard season. It's tough to play in this league. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for guys that show up ready to play and compete and play with pace and have some hockey awareness or hockey IQ, and then we can teach them all the other stuff.
Jared, have you assessed the team as a whole? I know, the Steelheads got hit with all the NCAA guys that went to NCAA and whatnot, but have you assessed your team as a whole? Did your team meet your expectations by the end of the year?
Anytime you don't make the playoffs, for me, it's not a good thing. So we were under the bar, and we all have to look in the mirror and be better. The staff has to be better next year. The players have to be better, and we're going to be making a lot of changes, obviously, to bring in players that want to be that have to find a way to get into the playoffs.
And I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of roster decisions to be made. I believe there was, I think, what was it, 606s on the team, 706s, something around there. That obviously there's going to have to be some decisions being made. There's guys like David Green who are, committed to go to NCAA, but just kind of when you think about filling out the roster, obviously there's some guys there that would be overagers this year. So kind of what is sort of the outlook with the guys already on the team this year moving into the season next year?
Yeah, I think everybody was told in their exit meetings that they're going to have to come back to training camp and make the team. It's the team wasn't good enough to make the playoffs, and we have to make sure that the guys that are on the roster next year are focused and good enough to be there.
That's a great answer. That is a Bill Belichick answer right there. That was totally Bill Belichick. Sorry, as I was writing something down for my day job. Yeah. No, Billy, I'll tell you, I just want to ask you as well. Going into this import draft, which is coming up, which I feel is huge, for every OHL team, right? So you're going to have a high-end pick for this draft. How many guys do you have down there right now, scouting all the time, the import players, just out of curiosity?
Down in the U.S. or
down in Europe? I know you have Inachek. I know you have Inachek.
Over in Europe.
Correct.
So, well, the import draft's a funny one, right? I mean, in the past, we've been told players were coming, and we draft them, and then all of a sudden they're not coming. So it's a really tough one to get through because you want to make the right pick. You want to bring in the right player, but if that player doesn't end up coming, then you're out in no man's land. So
Right.
we're doing a lot of work right now with agents, with NHL teams, with some people that we know over there. We're watching a lot of film on different players, and but it really comes down to whether or not they're going to come across and play.
And I mean, how hard is it to kind of know that they are going to come? Like, is that something that's, usually agreed upon before? I would think, or maybe not fully agreed upon, but some kind of,
Well, you would hope
commitment
it's
if you're
agreed
gonna,
upon. Yeah,
yeah, if you're
you
gonna
would
draft
hope.
them that high, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but there's always surprises, right? I
yeah,
mean, we took a player this year that he ended up playing pro hockey over in Sweden, but we were pretty sure that he was going to come. We drafted a defenseman a few years ago when we drafted Fiberger, and he was coming. And then, I mean, he was here in the summertime for a training camp after we drafted him for camp in Toronto, and we went and met with him, and he came. He came into the facility. He ordered sticks. He ordered skates, and then when training camp broke, he didn't show up. So it's a tough one to navigate through. There's no question about it, but we're trying our best.
I want to circle back to the OHL Cup. I mean, there's that one, Logan Pridham. Did I say that name right?
Yep.
Okay. 6'7" forward. Holy mackerel. This kid just absolutely blew my mind. 6'7". He scored 5 goals in the OHL Cup. 44 goals, 52 assists, 96 points in 69 games. How impressed were you with this guy at the OHL Cup? I really like this guy, just to say.
Yeah, I mean, Logan, he moves around the ice very well for a big guy. You talk about a bunch of guys in that range, and we've had a bunch of them in for interviews with their families and whatnot, and he's one of them that was in, and very impressive young man. He's more mature than most kids his age. Obviously, he's a big, he's a huge body. Does a lot of damage from the net front, but he's got some nice silky hands for a guy that big, and plays center, and he's pretty good on the dot as well. He's a good one, really good one.
And I mean, obviously, completely different players, but I mean, Nick Hague is another guy that you've had that was also, extremely big. Like, do you kind of see, sort of, you can take things from teaching that kind of player, like that kind of size, because it's just not something that you see that often.
No, it's exactly true. I mean, whenever we're doing development with our players, and I've had this talk with both Jake and Maddie and Liam Ham, because you're teaching one thing to somebody, you're going to have to make changes or little adjustments to the player's size. Obviously, which hand they shoot, they shoot left or right, and then their length of their bodies change. So you make those little adjustments, but no question that Pridham is a guy that's going to go really, really early in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, that kid just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. I just have to say.
He scores a lot.
Yeah.
And he's got size.
He's been compared to Tage Thompson already.
Yeah.
Already he's been compared to Tage Thompson. What would you say about that?
That's very good. It's a very good assessment of him.
Yeah.
He's gonna, everybody wants to knock younger players. They want to find their warts on them and whatnot. And I mean, he hasn't grown into that body yet. So as he gets a little bit older, and he's going to get stronger, and the legs will get more sturdy underneath him. And for sure, he reminds a lot of people of Tage Thompson.
So we're talking all about, building the team for next year. But once you get past, the import draft, this upcoming draft, the U18 draft, is there a period where things kind of slow down for you in the off season, or is it kind of always go all the time?
No, I mean, I think July will be, you're not allowed to make trades or anything through July. It's a quiet period, so July usually have some downtime, but we try to see as many of our players as we can in July. So with the draft being so late this year, it's there's not a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no kidding. My goodness.
Yeah.
Just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Like this draft is unbelievable. I just have to say first, you got Kate O'Rourke. We don't know yet his status, of course, but Tanner Adams, Cash Kawaji, Adrian Schroll. I mean, there's a lot of good players in this draft. So you talked about, taking the best player available, right? But offense is your biggest priority, correct?
Yeah, I think well, size and scoring. Yeah, so there's a lot more high end defensemen this year than there was in previous years. So I think you'll see a lot of good defensemen go in the first round. You've got some guys that can really put the puck in the net. You got some really good American teams, Little Caesars and Honeybake, with deep teams. So again, are the American players going to come across the border to play in the OHL? I think they are. I really do. With now, the players can go to the NCAA without penalty. Then I think you'll see more and more come across.
And more so just kind of on the current roster, the goaltending situation, two really young goalies last year in Luke Johnson. Of course, Zach Bowen on the team last year, but he'll be moving on as an overager. Peter Schlabowski, unfortunate that he got hurt so early on in the season, but just the strides that you saw from Luke Johnson, a guy that, wasn't on the team last year to start the season, and somebody that, will probably have a bigger role this upcoming year.
Well, 100%. I mean, Johnny he came leaps and bounds this year. The maturity of the kid and the way he plays the position is outstanding. So we'll need to add another goalie somehow, some way, with the uncertainty of Schlabowski's availability. We got Kason Wang, who we drafted, who played at Upper Canada College, had a real good year. And then we'll have to look at either we don't want to have say a 2010 goalie with Johnny, so we'll have to add through free agency or trade.
It's actually that's what was going to be my next question with free agents and whatnot. The new OHL, of course, everybody's signing free agents from different leagues and whatnot, from the BCHL, from USHL, whatever. Do you guys have your eyes on some free agents right now?
Yes, we do.
Correct. All right, there it is. There it is. Okay, you know what? No, that's good. That's all I need to know. That's perfect. That's all the people want to know. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. And
Thank you, Bill.
Through free agency, through the import draft. Stankoven got better and better as the season went along. I mean, there's a young player that came over, left his family, came to a foreign land, and he struggled early on, or let's say through the mid part of the season. He really missed home, and I think his best part of the season was the last third of the season. He's going home. He's going to play in the U18s for Slovakia now, and I think he's going to come back and really have a good jump for us next year. So,
yeah, he really seemed like he was just turned it on another level, as you said. Yes.
Yeah. So the free agent market, obviously, we've got a hit on. We got a hit on the import draft, and be better next year.
Last one for me, of course, the OHL playoffs going on right now. Quite a few of your, former guys are playing in the OHL playoffs at this time. Have you had any conversations with them? Mikey and I were actually in Barrie last night, so we saw PVR and Mason playing yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
I was also in Guelph for Game 4 against Windsor, so saw Jakob playing there. So just sort of, have you had any conversations with them, and just have you been watching their kind of progress here going in the playoffs?
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's I've had some good FaceTime conversations with some of them. They're reaching out and asking me if I'm watching. And obviously, I'm watching. I'm following them.
Absolutely.
Great for them to be doing as well as they are, and I'm really happy for them.
Yeah,
I think they'll always be steelheads, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You look at Phoebe and PBR and Zeber and Cherry. They all grew up steelheads, and they're always going to be steelhead players.
Yeah, I think I mentioned you when I interviewed Phoebe at the home game, and he was very emotional, like coming back and stuff. Like you see it in his eyes, right? Like the
Yeah.
kids, it's unbelievable. But yeah, we
Yeah.
watched Mason last night. He scored a goal, and I mean, how huge they are in that Barrie lineup. It's unbelievable. But Jared, I want to ask. I've always wanted to ask you this: when you played, right? What number were you? What number? What number was your number? I've always wanted to ask you because I know McGregor wears 73. Is there something behind that? Were you 73?
No. I was 18.
Oh, okay.
I was
18.
18. Yeah.
Oh, 18. What was behind
Yeah.
18?
You know what? I was drafted by Sudbury. I was up there for quite some time, and then I came back and I played junior hockey at Henry Carr. Father Henry Carr had the junior B teams
Mm-hmm.
that were really good then. I came back, and that's the number they gave me, and I didn't ask for any number. They just gave me 18, and I wore that through junior. Then at University of New Hampshire, I wore it, and then for all my pro years, my 13 and a half years of pro, I wore 18. I have it tattooed on my leg, and
Did you really? I've never seen it. Where is it?
No, and you probably won't. But
No, because I'm talking about. No, because when you're in the golf tournament, everybody's wearing shorts and stuff. So I've never seen any tattoos on you and stuff on the legs. You see people walking around and they have tattoos of like stars or something, or like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. So but yeah, so I wore 18.
Oh,
I wore
jeez.
18. So
yeah, no, that's great. Number 18 was the number.
All right,
number 18.
JR, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Actually, we'll see you at the draft. We're doing a live show. So
in Kingston.
Correct. We are doing a live show, draft show on the radio. So we're looking forward to it.
There.
So we'll see you then. Yes.
I'll be there early, and I'll be there right to the very end. So we're looking forward to it. And,
hopefully we can, hopefully we can grab you for an interviews and stuff like that after and whatnot, right? So thank you so much for coming on.
Have a great couple months, and then a great off season.
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you, JR. You too. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much.
All the best.
Have a good one.
All the best.
Thank you. All the best. See you.
Take care.
All right, head coach and general manager of the Brampton Steelheads, James Richmond. We thank him for coming on the program. All right, we'll take a break here, and then we'll come back on the other side. We got quite a bit to cover. We've only got about 12 minutes here, so we've got a lot to talk about.
12 minutes.
We'll do that when we come back. You're listening to Trout Talk on Saga 960 AM. And welcome back to Trout Talk on Saga 960 AM. I'm Brendan Lang, along with Mike Karafilidis here, two broadcasters for the Brampton Steelheads. Just spoke to head coach and general manager of the Brampton Steelheads, James Richmond. Great conversation with him, just to kind of see what they want to do building towards next season. And I think a lot of people are in the same school of thought, and I think it's a correct one that they're going to be a lot better next year than they were this year. So good to hear JR kind of talk about what's upcoming in the draft. And then also too, I like what he said, and it was short and sweet answer, but I like what he said, everybody's going to have to earn that spot to get back on the team. Right. And I think that's a good spot to be where there's that kind of competition. So I really liked kind of that sort of aspect of what he was talking about.
Yeah. He noticed, he actually said as well, there's going to be a lot of changes. Right. So who knows where the changes are going to come from, but I think they're leaning towards where he was talking towards forwards, of course. I think the D is pretty good. I don't think the D is going to have a problem this year. But I think they're leaning towards forwards and whatnot. But, he wouldn't tip his hand at all, which is fine.
We knew he wasn't going to.
We knew he wasn't going to, but I tried.
Of course, of course.
And that's why we call him Bill Belichick. Are you looking for free agents? Yes.
Yes. Hey, he's not going to give away any of the secrets.
Oh, he's. You know what? We are lucky. I say it again. We are lucky to talk to Jr. on a daily basis and whatnot during game days, and he's just a super person.
Yep.
Great coach, great GM, and he's got a personality too, right? Which is amazing. So we're very very lucky. Just to
Yeah,
say,
I mean
the
that's
team's going to be a
definitely
lot better too.
a big part of it. Yeah, I mean I think that's what everybody's hoping for, and there's a lot of draft picks in there. Possibly there's some trades going to happen,
Trades.
or there's going to be a lot of guys drafted as well, and who knows? I mean, we've seen the Steelheads. I mean, obviously we talk so much about the top picks and the top players, but we've seen the Steelheads hit on lower round guys, quite often. I mean, you think of
Hmm.
names even recently that have been really good contributors. Even just think back to this past year, and Manny Amato, who was a late round pick just 2 years ago, was a great
Right.
contributor on the team this year. Mason Zabeski, I believe, was a 9th round, 11th round pick. I'm not 100% on that, but later in the rounds, Finn Harding, another guy who was a late pick. So they've done a pretty
Hmm.
good job in that as well. They're going to have lots of picks. So it'll be interesting to see kind of the direction that they go in that. So we talked a little bit about the draft with JR, but I think we can talk about it a little more. You had mentioned a name there, the the phenom, I guess you could say,
Oh,
really tall, somebody that you don't see too often. But there's a lot of
six.
top end skill in this draft.
Yeah, Tanner Adams. I mean, he's gonna. In my mind, I could totally see him going number two to Erie. Right. I mean,
Mhm.
if Kate O'Rourke doesn't get exceptional status, then you could probably say Tanner Adams will go number one. In my opinion, like
Right.
this guy is he's unbelievable. Looking at his stats with the Hill Academy, Um, I could see him going number one, but the consensus is, the rumor is that Cato Work is probably going to get exceptional status, right? So,
Yep.
in my, hey, I'm not a GM, but in my mind, I think Prudhomme would fit in perfectly with this team.
Yeah, I mean, he just we say he didn't tip his hand, right? But he did say, we're looking for scoring and we're looking for size. I mean, that kind of
Man,
fits the mold, right? And obviously another name that you had mentioned when we were talking to him too is Adrian Scro. I mean, he's a
hmm,
defenseman, sure, but I mean that's another guy who's kind of up there near the top, and we'll see
yeah,
if see what direction they go. But I do think the best player available is the player they'll pick. And yes, they're
that's
trying to
what he
get
said.
scoring,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
I mean, if the best player there is a defenseman, I don't think they're going to shy away from taking them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great draft, and we'll say it again. We're gonna be there live on draft day. We're gonna be only doing round one though, Saga
Yeah.
960 a.m. But it's gonna be myself, you, and we have a special guest. I'm not gonna mention his name yet. We're not sure yet,
Yeah.
and we're not sure about Zach, so we have to see about Zach. But you and I will be there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
I'm
be
really
there.
looking
And
forward to it, and we'll bring you top notch coverage, folks. Believe me.
yeah, we're definitely looking forward to, I'm looking forward to being at the draft. I've never been to any
And
draft
that too.
before.
Yeah, me
So
neither. I know,
yeah, so
right?
it'll be
My
interesting
goodness.
to kind of see how everything runs. And with Brampton having such a high pick, I think it's good that we're there to kind of cover that. And, we'll get to talk to him right away. We'll get to kind of get his reaction, kind of the
Absolutely.
raw reaction of whoever they pick. So,
Can't wait. Can't
yeah,
wait.
really, really looking forward to that. All right. So, let's talk a little
Let's
bit
move
just
on.
yeah, let's talk about just the season coming up for Brampton, right? I mean, obviously it wasn't a great year for them a season ago, not making the playoffs. Obviously, coming into the year, as Jr. said, and everybody's talked about, they lost probably the most players. I think it was the most players, whether that be to pro or to NCAA. So they come into the season, different roster, and then even towards the end of the year, completely different roster. But as we talked about there are definitely some guys who sort of stepped up their game as the season went on that are going to be extremely important contributors going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Green.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
We,
him because
we,
we were
we
talking
didn't
about
even talk
offense,
about
but
Peter
yeah,
Green, right? I mean, that's another guy that just
yep,
got better and better as the season went on. Amato, we already talked about him. Keaton Ardahl, we talked about him. Jr. High praise for him. He expects him maybe to go uh, in the first round of his draft year, right? He'll go top end, not first round, but maybe second round, right? But
yep,
with those three, you can really build around. And um, And Troy Patton as well.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
he had a nice year as well. The
And another guy who's
young
going to be
forward up
older.
there.
And, yep.
And it's going to be interesting to see because how about the guy, we didn't even mention him, Quinn Patton, Troy
Yeah,
Patton's little
scoring his
brother,
first goal. Yeah.
scoring his first goal against the Brantford Bulldogs. And it was a beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way he played. That was his first game in the
Yep.
OHL. And this kid, I could totally see him making the team next year. He is a beauty. I really, really like his game. Really like his game. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you could build around there. The defense, I think the defense is going to be fine, as I said, but offense, we just need a little bit of help, and I think that's going to happen. I really do. You know, if anybody and you trust JR, of course, he's going to bring in some guys, right?
Yeah.
And the coaching staff does a great job. So this year is going to be a lot better, and you could build around those guys for sure.
Yeah, and even Amidovsky, a name that JR mentioned
I
too.
forgot about him as well.
It's another guy he'll be 18 this year. Like, I mean, now, you know, he's starting to get older, starting to get stronger. I mean, I would think probably goes in the NHL draft this year at some point. So, you know, maybe that kind of boost of confidence and that sort of thing as well. Obviously the skill is there when you see him play. And as JR said, you know, probably will be better this year. So yeah, there's quite a few guys on the roster already. And then you supplement that with the draft, the import draft, getting a high pick there is really important. The U18 draft, even he mentioned that too. So all of that stuff really important. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Obviously, you know, it's been a little while since we've hopped on here. You'll be able to catch this one on YouTube. You weren't able to do that for the last one. So you'll be able to see this one on YouTube. We spoke to head coach and general manager of the Brampton Steelheads, James Richmond, and we'll be back next year. We'll be at the draft. Won't be on YouTube, but we will be at the draft on Saga 960 AM. I know you'll be doing a lot of promoting for that on your Twitter page. So,
you better too.
Yeah, I'm not as active on Twitter as you are, but
not really.
No, but definitely for that we'll get everything. We'll get everything pumped out for sure. All right, thanks so much for tuning in.
Okay,
Mike Karafilidis, Brendan Lang. Thanks for being with us the entire year, and we're looking forward to 2026-2027 season. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Games, folks.
That's right.
68 games. We'll do it again.
You're listening to Trout Talk on Saga 960 AM.